Wednesday, everybody. I'm AC. This is Dank RC, and the mic is working. Oh my gosh. The camera's working. Oh my gosh. Everything's working, and I'm here on time for the most part. Even though I'm currently trying to get scammed. So for all you people out there, if somebody texts you and says they have your number, the last 4 digits of your number, and they're from the fraud detection center, they know my bank, they know my cell phone number, they know the last 4 digits of my debit card. This is not good. This just started happening 10 minutes ago. There's been 3 calls from them. I finally answered it, and then to hear what it said, and there's like the fraud detection center. If you're blah 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 Sunflower Bank, they don't seem to know my name, which is interesting. But they have my cell phone. They have my last 4 digits of my bank account, a debit card, and they're trying to anyway. Don't fall for that shit, people. Okay, well, no one is out there. It's probably good. No one's out there hearing me talk about being scammed. That's the world today we live in, is just scam artists everywhere. Scam artists. The guy who owns Twitter now, scam artist. He's a scam artist. Don't fall for him either. He's a scam artist. He's never said a true word in his entire life. Everything he says is lies. Just go back in time and see how many things he's promised next year, now, this day, how he's gonna, whatever. I don't even want to get into that. This is not what this channel's about. This channel's about the quiet world of INAV, RC, airplanes, mostly. RC airplanes, flight test airplanes, DIY your own airplanes, airplanes with flight controllers. I don't know. Whatever. Okay, so here we are. We're working on the FPV Combat Wings. Last time we were here, which I don't know why. I got this out to clean my glasses, but might as well dust this off because it's been like, what, 3 weeks? 2 weeks. Missed last week. Did I miss the week before? I'm not sure. It's all fading away now. Anyway, we're much closer to finishing this than we have been. I've got to do one more thing. I left the heater bunny on down here. I'm going to turn it off. Put it over here, and then, oh, I didn't turn it all the way off. 1 second, sorry. So, how unprofessional. So today we're going to work on the FPV Combat Wings some more. And we've got to deal with this other, look, there's actually like dust bunnies and stuff. We need to deal with the other winglet, which should be easier since it doesn't have the antenna in it. We did the one with the FR Sky R9 antenna, yes. FR Sky R9, or Free Sky, or however you want to say it. And I don't care. It's what I got. It's what I do. So I think we should start by putting the winglet on there, which means that I need to prepare. We'll set these aside for a second. I don't have any news, like as if I was some big YouTuber or something talking about the news. In fact, I've been terrible. I haven't even been on my channel or like watched videos in that world. I've mostly been working on work projects and immersing myself in videos about this stuff that I'm trying to kind of quickly learn a new framework for some programming projects at work. Anyway, it's another story. So, I really need to flip this around. This is the worst. There, that's going to be a little bit better. Kind of like that. Okay. I'm looking at this view here. Sorry. So I was going to see how this is all going to go, but we're going to do this part. And is it? Oh, it is the right way. How about that? It's flipped around so it looks like it's coming from my point of view. That's good. I remember to do that actually. Okay. So we're going to, what's the outside? This is going to be the outside. This side is the outside. So we're going to take one of these. How many did I print? Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to put that there, just like the other ones. Oh, these are, yeah, I printed them because we're making 3 wings. We're making 3 wings. So that's what I'm talking about. We're going to cut out that. I hope it's okay that we're using their logo. Didn't ask permission or anything. Nobody's watching, so I don't have to watch the chat. That's okay. I don't, do a big promotion thing. These days, like, social media just scares the hell out of me. It's just like, it's a viper's nest out there of just people with, I'd say the iNav, I mean, I don't go on the Facebook that much these days. Because mostly, I guess, not because I have any particular reason except that I've just been too busy with other stuff. But the iNav community on Facebook seems pretty decent. It's not a viper's nest. I even have their swag. See? Their swag. Can you see it in there? No, probably not. Okay. Oh. Hi. I was thinking, of course, that the camera view is different, but I guess you can see what I'm doing here. So let me see if I can get it a little bit better. We're going to cut this out. I'm going to try to cut it somewhat so it doesn't. I should look at the way I cut the other one. Let's look at the way I cut the other one. We did kind of a small, we did straight lines at the top and the bottom, and then you can kind of see, maybe. Okay. All right, I'm going to try to match that on this side. So I'm going to keep this over here so I can refer to it, except it will be opposite. So that's okay. We're still going to cut it the same way. So this kind of goes, we'll cut the top first. Switch back. So I haven't watched any videos like in the RC world, and I feel I've missed it a lot. I know there's a new plane out, and I haven't even really seen, like, I think Andrew Newton's done a video on it, and I'm sure some other people too. But I haven't seen those videos even, and I can't even remember the name of the plane. Excuse me. So yeah. Oh, we didn't cut it very well, did we? Right where I needed it to be cut well. Okay. So I feel it's like I feel like I'm so uninformed. I haven't watched like the Bardwell FPV news. I don't even know if it's Blunty corrected his comments about the iNav fixed wing group on Facebook. I don't know anything about what's going on. Maybe he doubled down. I saw a post that it said he was going to apologize or did apologize or did want to correct himself. I don't care about apologies more. I care more about admission of correction if they're wrong. That's what I care about. Okay, so this is kind of like a curve cut here. I would like, if I am ever corrected and found to be wrong, I have no problem making a correction. And also, I'm wrong all the freaking time. I am always wrong. So, I'm not wrong about Elon Musk, though. I won't have to be issuing any corrections about him. And to all those who would say, oh my God, how dare you? I mean, why are you, what's the word? What's the word the kids use? I can't think of the word. But why you love a billionaire so much? A billionaire that hates like regular people. He hates regular people, man. Just look at the way he treats the people at his factories. That's all I can say. Look it up. I don't know. The billionaires are not good people. You don't get to be a billionaire. I shouldn't even. I just shouldn't. This is not like some kind of meritocracy where the best and the brightest rise to be the billionaires. Look into the whole system of equity markets and companies owned by equity firms, which is just rich people using their money to buy up everything, and all they care about is profit. That's the way it works. So sorry to get a little political, but that's reality. And who is that for? That's for the billionaires and all the wannabe billionaires. There's something that happens to you. Bill Gates fought against free vaccines for the third world. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. These are not crazy conspiracies. These are reality, not like QAnon crap or whatever. So, okay, enough of that. Just so much going on in the world today. It's crazy times. Okay, I need double-sided tape. Double-sided tape. I haven't been putting the right camera on there. We're cutting this out. I'm going to put this on here. It was about about right there. We're going to stick it about right there. We're going to try to keep it straight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little bit of tape with a little bit of this so I can tape it down so it doesn't move around so much, hopefully. I'm going to do it 2 places. Yeah, so everything's owned by private equity firms nowadays, and not people. Grocery stores aren't owned by grocers. Gas stations aren't owned by people into gas stations. It's just not the way the world works anymore. Everything is owned by private equity, and look it up. Look up what private equity is and what it does. What it demands. Listen to some earnings calls. Listen to the Costco earnings call from last week. Challenge you all. People should be informed about how the economic systems work. I do believe in that. There's some hair stuck on there because this house has got like hairs everywhere, which is okay because we have little furry creatures running around. Doggies, of course. Well, I guess it could be kitties too, but we don't have kitties. I love kitties though. Okay, we're going to use a, sorry for going off on all that tangent, but there's just been things going on. I mean, like the whole, there's just been things going on, and it's just upsetting. It's upsetting. I mean, I felt that way for decades, of course, but it seems like the upsettingness is in high acceleration mode here in the 2020s. Okay. But we do have some awesome RC technology. That is for sure. That part I'm happy about. I'll take it as long as we can get it. Isn't that right, all you zero concurrent viewers out there? Okay, so now what we're going to do is cut this out very carefully. I'm going to try to... I actually have the wrong glasses on to do this kind of close-up work, so let's change. We're in the right camera view, which is good. So it's almost Christmas, almost New Year's and all those things. We're having a very limited holiday season around here because we're saving to go to vacation next July. Which is also why I don't have much news in the RC department, because I am trying not to spend any money on my beloved hobbies for a little bit. I have enough stuff. I guess I might have to spend a little bit of money to do some of the projects because I have more of some things than others, and I'm short on some things like ESCs. But I still have some. I got some motors still. I have lots of flight controllers. Oh, see, I didn't make sure that the tape was down good enough. And that's also a sign that my blade isn't sharp enough. So I think we're going to fix the blade here. But first, let's get this stuck on. So I want to... That is straight, so I kind of want to use the grid lines on the mat as a reference to try to help me get it straight. That's pretty close. I think it was a little higher on the other side, to be honest, but that's okay. We're just going to roll with it. So hopefully I'll have some time. There's going to be like a holiday break at work, and I'll have some time to catch up on RC stuff. I haven't even flown. I miss flying too. This weekend here in Kansas, it was perfect flying weather. Perfect flying weather. Okay, so now what we're going to have to do, we got a little bit of dirt on there. Let's see if we can get it off. We can scoot it around. I Can't seem to get it off. That's okay. Now we're going to cover this side up with tape. I know, this is like paint drying. Which I suspect might have something to do with the viewer count. That's okay. This motivates me to get this stuff done. And it's also a nice break. Okay. Let us make sure that we are doing the tape the same way. And it looks like I went bottom to top. Not that it really matters, but I just figure try to be consistent in your manufacturing processes. I, however, don't know more about manufacturing than any human on the planet. But if you want to use your Google's or your internet search engine to look up that quote to see who said it recently, within the last few years, be my guest and see if the person who said that meets that standard. That person knows more about manufacturing than anybody alive on the whole planet. Okay, oops. Here, I didn't put the right camera view on once again. I don't know more about anything than any human on the planet. I know less about everything than any human on the planet. Certainly less about making sure the camera view is the correct one. But that's okay. We can make mistakes. Why do I have this tape down? This blue tape here is because I had this tape down still from when we glued the wings together. There we go. We've got this something done. 24 minutes into the stream, and we've already produced a piece of work. I know it would take somebody who does this better than me, like 20 seconds, but they wouldn't have been rambling the whole time to an empty room, which is what I would be doing probably anyway. No, I would have a YouTube video going. I'd have a YouTube videos going while I built this, if I was by myself and not streaming. Streamers have to promote their stuff. That's what the people on Twitch do. I mean, they have their whole social media, visibility spread. Have an Instagram, have a Facebook, have a TikTok. Get all those things going, and then focus as much as possible on the Twitch or YouTube streams, or both. I'm not doing all that, because I don't have the time. And as I said, the anxiety about being on social media with the viper's nest out there. I got to change the blade on this thing. Let's do that, huh? So this is like a rather stupid thing that I go through every time I change the blade. But we'll try to do it over here. Go whoop. I take some alcohol And I spray it onto this paper towel. And then I get my razor blade out from the new pack over here. If I can get it out. And then I put it on the alcohol pad here. And then I spray it some more. By the way, these DeWalt blades, I don't know, they're not so great. Figure out, this is another example, back to my rant just for 1 second. Who owns DeWalt? Is it people who love tools? Really? People that they grew up making tools in their grandpa's garage and they made a company out of it? No, there's nothing like that out in the world anymore, people. DeWalt is owned by private equity firms, and private equity firms don't give a crap about making good tools. They don't. They want profit. They want profit, and that's it. Profit over everything. And in order to get that profit, they will manipulate things. They'll market their stuff like they're awesome. I'm looking for a screwdriver and I can't find one for some reason. Isn't that crazy? Where are all those screwdrivers? Where is my... Oh, there it is. And Home Depot. Well, maybe the guy at Home... yeah. I don't know about Home Depot, but if it's a public company... Oh, we don't have to change the blade. I have a system where I put it in this way first, and the lovely DeWalt brand label second, so I know that that side's still good. And then if I open it and the DeWalt's up, I know that I need to change the blade. I forgot about that. So, we don't have to change the blade. We'll just keep this one off to the side in case we have to change it again later. Anyway, they just have to make the impression that they make good tools. They have to impress people through advertising and marketing. And there are some good, thanks to social media, I will not dispute this. I mean, there are some good, let's say if you're focusing on tools, there's some good channels out there that'll help you decipher, especially if you're buying like somewhat expensive power tools or something. I mean, there's YouTube channels that'll go out and they'll like take apart all the clutches and the drive gear and all the, like in a bunch of similar cordless drills, for example. And they'll compare them all and they'll test them for 6 months and stuff like that. I mean, there's this one YouTube channel that went on about how Milwaukee is changing their design. They're changing their design and their clutches to make it cheaper. Because they've built a reputation on building good tools. And they're going to ride that reputation. Hey, Chris, what's happening? Looks like the Arrow still. It is. We're still on the same damn plane. Still on the same damn plane. How you doing? Well, there it is. We made this. That's all we've done today so far. But usually I haven't even done this much because I ramble on or something, which I've definitely been doing. Rambling on to nobody. So glad you're here. I'll try not to be so abrasive in my rambling now that somebody's listening. Okay, so we're going to glue this onto the wing. That's what we're going to do next. So let's hope I remember to plug in the glue gun. And so, hey, North 49 RC is in the house. Up in the... Living the dream. All right, living the dream. Living the dream up in the northern wilds of North America. Amazing. Amazing. It's cold down here, but I'm sure it's colder up where you are. Okay, so yeah, that's what we're doing. We did this, which is not much, but I cut this out and taped it on. And now what we need to do is, using the other one as a guide, I'm going to try to glue this onto the wing. I should have checked to see if the glue gun's plugged in. Hold on. We're going to glue this onto this wing. See how it's going to go. We're going to have to trim this wing up a little bit. So let's do that first. Trim this like along this edge here. Yeah, I'm doing this I'm going to keep building this until this is done, but it's not that much farther. So every live stream is going to be like this damn plane until it's done, before we move on to the next project. I'm not going to build the other two on live stream. I'll do that off stream, but get one of these FPV combat planes done and then make sure it all works. Then I'll move on to, oh my God, there's so many projects back there. Piles of planes over there, plane boxes. Oh my God, so much stuff. And Robert's here too. Just below freezing temps here so far. Well, that's basically what we got. Just below freezing. Well, it was 40 something degrees Fahrenheit. What is that? That's like 6 or 7 Celsius. Maybe 5. I don't know. I should know my conversions better. What am I looking for? I am looking for the glue gun. Ah, I found it. Okay, so glue gun is hot. What we're going to do is we're going to trim this. Just got home. Good deal. Welcome. Glad you're here. I've been rambling about something that nobody would care about, so I'm glad you guys weren't here to hear it. We're going to just cut this. And even though this is a brand new blade, you still got to do it like a saw motion. Maybe it's because this foam core is pretty tough, but still. We're going to get this out. Give it a little bit of a chamfer. What's the right way to pronounce that? Chamfer. I should know that from my drafting days. Architectural drafting. Oh man, I was into that when I was a young man. Okay, I think the way I'm going to try to do it is to hold the wing like this and glue it on. So I'm going to have some tape helpers. I'm going to make some tape helpers. Yeah, I'm sure you guys have been busy working, especially Roberts. Robert's always working. Well, Chris, I'm sure you're working too. We all have to work a lot, don't we? Chris is living the dream, though. Living the dream. I'm living the dream too, actually. I mean, look. I've got all the toys. The heat's on. Lights are on. I got my Frappuccino. I've got my FT Arrow. I mean, I still think this is the very first plane. Not this plane, excuse me. Can't breathe. The very first flight test plane I built was FT Arrow wings. And a funny story about that is that I'll tell you a funny story real quick. So my girlfriend, who we live here together, we've been together many years now, but when I first our first date, or the first time she came over to my house, I had forgotten to like hide the plane that I was working on from, like, because I didn't want to seem like a real dork. And so there it was. She came over to my house, and there was like the FT Arrow sitting there up against the TV stand, unfinished. It didn't have. It was like just the foam board. It didn't have the. It didn't have any electronics. And I actually think I never flew that plane. I built it and I never flew it. I didn't have a battery for it or something, and then I ended up using it as an experiment to figure out how to paint. Oh, I have to make one more cut. One more cut. Let's do it on this camera. One more cut, because I have to change my glasses. Oh, is that out of focus? Let's try that. Focus! Tried to improve this terrible camera view a little bit today, right at the beginning of the stream. So what are you guys talking about? Chatting it up with the... You gotta get the iron edges trick in the arsenal. What is the iron edges trick? You mean edges of the foam board? I even used the iron trick. First plane is still hanging from a ceiling in my hangar. Oh, that's sweet. I used to be more sentimental about stuff like that. Like my first this and my first that, and trying to keep everything. And then I've had like a few things happen where I had to have all my stuff in a storage locker. Like one time I had to not have an apartment for 3 weeks because my lease ended and then the next lease didn't start. It was like a complicated situation. So I went to visit my family in Michigan and had all my crap in a storage unit. And then it flooded. The storage unit flooded. Oh my God, I'm talking to the camera and it's not even on. Yeah, that's what happened. The storage unit flooded, and a lot of my sentimental stuff from my childhood got ruined because there was a lot of boxes on the bottom that were all my stuff that I had set aside. Anyway, live and learn. What can you do? So a lot of my childhood stuff, my Lincoln logs and all that was just like, it was just, well, everything was nasty. It was horrible. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, here, let me see if I can get this on camera better. We'll do it over like this. No, it's not going to work very well. You're going to have to look at my pants. Here, we'll do this. Okay, we're going to do this, and I'm going to try to match like how much it has on the other one. I'm looking at the other wing, which is right over there. And I'm going to try to tape it on and like so. So iron, I get it, you're talking about ironing the edges of the foam board, right? Yeah. Hey, Bugs is here. Welcome. Welcome, Bugs. So I have an iron that I could use for that. I can experiment. I'm sure that's what you're talking about. Okay. So we have our tape on here so that I can just, it will help me hold it at least a little bit. What I do is I glue the edges with hot glue. Okay, I think I'm going to see. I have to decide which way. You'd think after all the arrows I made, I would have a method of doing this, but I don't. But I think that's what we should do is kind of get it on there and scooch it like that so it's flat. Okay. So we have glue gun. We have, actually, I want to hold it up like this and put the glue here. So let's see if I can do that on camera. First I'm going to clean up this glue gun. It's kind of a mess. There's glue dripping all over the place on it, like that. I have a tutorial vid on the iron edges if you need. Okay, I'll check it out. I will check it out. I think I remember seeing it and not watching it, sorry to say. Not because of any particular bad reason, but because I just probably was like, I'll get to it. And I want to watch so many videos. I mean, I'm never bored, man. That's one thing. One thing about my life. Okay, I did that all off camera because I'm a very bad YouTuber. But there we go. We're just going to hold it like that. I'm going to hold it up in the air instead of pushing it down on the thing. Just going to hold it like that. So yeah, I'll watch that. I'll try ironing the edges. That sounds cool. I bet you can taper them with that heat, right? Yeah, I bet you can do some, make it look better than the raw edge of the foam board, which that's been like the part that's like the most aesthetically unpleasing, if that's a word, unpleasing. Not pleasing. Okay, I'm going off camera again because I can't seem to stand still. Just going to hold this on here for at least a minute, I'd say. Let's see, I'll try to read what you guys are saying. I'm working on a project to take the electronics from the night vapor to make a swappable power pack with vector thrusting. Wow, vector thrusting. Thrust vectoring is what I always called it, but okay, I'll call it vector thrusting for today. There's a guy who makes rockets, BPS Space YouTube channel. He makes thrust vectoring rockets and has like a flight controller, a rocket flight controller that he sells for a huge amount of money. It's crazy how much you can. It seems like that would be a cool thing to try to make. I'm still holding this thing. Is a rocket flight controller. That's another hobby that I don't spend much time on, but I love. It's flying rockets. Okay, it looks like we've got this glued on, but that is certainly a place where a lot of thrust vectoring or vector thrusting or whichever way you want to say it is done in like model rocketry. There's a lot of people making little 3D printed designs for that. Very interesting hobby subject, I think. Get rid of the gearbox. Yeah, gearbox is always a good thing to get rid of because, yeah, even on a real plane, there's planes out there that have gearboxes, and of course, that adds an extra maintenance cost, not only to the risk of failure. It's another point of failure, definitely. Okay, we have both things on. So what does that mean? That means that we have to, oh my God, I just remembered something that we have to do. We're not going to be building this part. We have to solder on something onto the flight controller. So we actually have to do some electronics work. I knew that, and I had forgotten. I'd pushed it out of my mind because, yeah, what we have to do, let's go back to this. I'm not paying attention to what the camera is, but here we are. We're over here. Get back over here, camera. I think what we have to do is take this whole thing apart. And because what I want to do, we don't have to take this part off the board. These are mounted on this little 3D printed thingamajiggy here. But we have to take the flight controller apart so we can solder on the bullet connectors. What did we decide when we were talking about bullet connectors? I think, Chris, you told me what your opinion was. Do the bullet connectors or not? I want to have a vote. Since you guys are here. Yeah, we're going to take this whole thing apart. Take all the goodies off of it. Take all the goodies off. Take the goodies off. Take the goodies off. And then we're not going to be able to separate this too much because these wires are already soldered on. But we need to solder on the battery connector. So we're going to take this off of the plastic so I don't melt the plastic. Because that is the kind of thing I would do. Yes, sirree. Let's get out our hex keys. Let's fire up the soldering iron. Do the bullets if your ESC goes. It's an easy change. And that's what I think we decided, because this here ESC, look at it. It's an Afro ESC from Hobby King circa 2014. So this ESC is 8 years old. I did update the firmware to BL Heli 14.9 and I've turned the brake on. So at least I put a sticker. I have a sticker there, as you can see. Anyway, okay. Let's get back to this. So I am going to do the bullets. I will agree. I concur. I concur with your opinion. And so we have some bullets. Let's see. Those are the kind I hate. I have my box of connectors here. So these are the ones I hate. These are the ones I like, the Banggood ones. These other ones I got from Hobby King, and they were a mistake. And someday, if I wanted to waste time on the stream, I could show you why. But does anybody even buy from Hobby King anymore? I mean, I bought batteries from them this year, so I shouldn't say that. Okay, so we're gonna have one set of bullets. Two sets. We need the female, I guess. We need two females. There's one. And two. Okay. And then we'll put these together in one bag. Get rid of this bag. Come on out of there. You can go into here. And these can go back. In here. And I put the connectors away already. Okay, so now what we need is a couple short little pieces of wire. We're going to use, we've got some what is this? 14. Yeah, we'll use 14. That should be good. Couple little bits of wire. I might end up shortening these and redoing the bullet connectors, and I don't care if I have to do that. I have enough bullet connectors. We'll see how it all fits together once I have. We'll set the flight controller in with we'll do a couple pigtails that just come out of the flight controller, maybe like that long. That's what we'll do. I'm going to read what you guys are saying here for a second. I do that on all my builds. Much easier to swap out. Yes, I never do it. Well, not actually. I used to always do it, and then I stopped doing it with the flight controller ones. I always do it still on the builds that are like the regular builds. Well, it says you guys have all left. So if you're still out there, it says nobody's here right now. If you're still out there, I do use bullet connectors on all my non-flight controller builds, but I haven't been doing it on the flight controller builds. Gear is the only way of driving that prop. Same brushless motor. Oh, beaver. Belt-driven beaver. Bush plane. Yeah, it does sound cool. Okay. You never used Hobby King? Oh, you're still here. Thank you. Good. Hi. Anyway, it's weird sometimes what the thing says and what is reality is not the same. It could have something to do with my internet connection too or something. I don't know. Okay, so we're going to separate these. And we're going to take all this apart. So we don't have to take the stuff off the FPV combat side. So we can leave that side alone. And we can just do this side. So let's get this off. What do we need? A 1.3, I think. No, we need a 1.5. 1.5. And we'll take this off. We'll take the flight controller apart because it's in, of course, two boards. Set those screws over there. And what we'll do is we'll try to solder it down this way with this out of the way. So what are we going to do? We have to take these out, I guess. It's kind of like I don't remember how I built this. Oh, we ended up using these little guys because we want to hold it off the surface a little bit. Even though I cut a hole in there, it just works better. I think it was the cables coming out the side too. So we'll take all those apart. I remember I had to cut these down. And this one I'm going to actually have to use my little box. My little box wrench. Whatever these things are called. Okay, so now we have to carefully separate this. And the reason I say carefully is because there's little pins that are connecting the two boards together. There we go. So this is the top board, and we can set that aside. And then here's where we're going to solder. So now we have to do a little bit of rearranging here. I'm going to solder on this wood board, so I have to move this stuff out of the way. Have to move this stuff out of the way and get this stuff on the wood board so I don't burn up my mat that's just in horrible condition, but I don't want to make it into more horrible condition. Okay, what did I use that for? Oh, I remember making the connectors. I've got a lot of extra stuff on here. Probably want to get it out of my way. Got some junk trash and a bunch of screws. And then this is all trash. Okay, and that one is trash. All right, so let's see how our camera view is now. We'll get this lined up, do some stuff here. That's going to be so far away from me. Hold on. We're going to have to do it a little closer. Like that. Okay. All right. Oh, like that. When I say solder. I probably do have marbles. First of all, I have the worst allergies. Like I said, I know I say that every stream, but I do. I have the worst allergies. I can't imagine how I would have sounded when I smoked cigarettes. Ugh. Now I can smell a cigarette like 5 miles away. It's crazy. Crazy times, what happens to your nose when you do something all the time. Okay, so we have, I'm trying not to say solder, S-O, because it's not spelled S-O-D-D-E-R. I know that's how Americans say it. But that's always been something that's like, drove me a little crazy. Which is really stupid, of course, because why should something so inane, like a pronunciation of a word like that, drive somebody crazy? But it does. And I still say it wrong all the time, even though I don't like it to say it wrong. So I make a conscious effort to say solder. And it probably has to do with the placement of my microphone and my skinny neck not blocking. There's no fat on my neck to block the damn sound of my Adam's apple going gurgling. I'm sure I could have a much better mic than what I have, but this one is what I got. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to connect the battery here and here, and I can see, I mean not the battery, the ESC pigtails. And I almost thought I put these on the wrong side because this is the shunt that measures the amps, so you don't want any power sucking off of here. You want the power sucking off of this side. Of course, you guys, you three know that. Maybe two. It says two. Now it says two. Two people. So it's you, Robert, and Chris are out there, I'm guessing. Okay, I need a bigger, this is the wrong size tool for the job. One of these days I'll be brave enough to do something like, say a post on Facebook, and then we'll maybe have 4 or 5 viewers here. You guys can meet some new people. And I'll meet some new people. We're going to do 12. We're going to do 12. Okay, so we're going to strip these. That's too long. Go to shorter on this one. That's probably just right. Look at that. That's just right. So we're going to tin these up. Oh, and I have to get the my favorite pad. Robert knows this. My favorite pad is that S1 pad. We love that pad, don't we, Robert? We just love it. Now watch, I have the wrong tip on. So I've heated this up and I have the wrong tip on. So what we're going to do is, oops, I just hit the mouse. I hope I didn't break anything. Are we still good? I'm going to switch views for a second. We're still good. Okay. Okay, we're going to turn off the soldering iron, and we're going to take this off with a pair of pliers carefully. And try not to burn anything. It's our main goal. Set that over there. this will leaves a burn mark in the wood. I have little burn marks all over the place. Okay, and then we're going to find this stand for my soldering stuff, which is way off camera over here. We'll put this on. That's the tip we're going to use. That's like the 3 or 4 millimeter tip. Then we'll grab our pliers. Oh, I almost grabbed that with my hand like an idiot. We'll grab this with my pliers again. We'll put that back on. Because this metal's still hot, guaranteed. Had this sucker heated up to 400 degrees Celsius. So I subscribe to the Joshua Bardwell School of Soldering, and that is that you use a hot iron, hotter than like the experts that know what they're doing recommend. So they obviously know what they're doing, but they're better than I am. I'm a mere mortal. So hot iron, 400 degrees. Well, it's actually like 380. Oh, 399. I have it set to 399. And hot iron, get in and out as quick as possible. I think that's kind of what Joshua Bardwell did on his little soldering tutorials. He's actually had interviews with the guy from what is that company? A company owned by people who really want to do the thing that the company does, which is a rarity. But okay, that's good. I like that. I can't remember what their name is though, but I bought some of their stuff, so I'm going to look at it in a second and I'll tell you what their name is. It's SRA Soldering Products. I had an interview with that guy. Am I doing this off camera? I hope not. I'm tinning these. Okay. You know what? I should probably put the... Oh, I don't have water in my sponge. Whoops. Hold on. Gotta put water in the sponge. Let's do that carefully. There we go. Just a little few drips. Distilled water. Same water you'd put in your battery, your lead acid battery. That's what you should use for this, I think, if you can. Okay, that's a little better. Now we'll clean the tip off and we'll do the bullet connectors. So this is going to be the bullet connector side for this. So I'm going to do this one shorter. So, are we still on there? No, we're on this camera. Hi there. We're back. We're back to the close-up camera. Do just a little short little thing. And that's for the negative. That was still a little too long, but that's okay. We'll suffer through it. Now let's tin that one. I use a Brillo pad. I have the, here's what I got. This guy. It's got the Brillo pad. It's got the sponge. So I usually, just my own way, I'm not saying it's the right way because I'm not that kind of person, because I think everybody has valuable input, or a lot of people have valuable input into this, but that do this, but I like to, a little bit more on there, I like to use the sponge to kind of get it like that. And then if there's extra gooblies on there like there is right now, I use the Brillo pad. And then I use the sponge again usually. And I try to make sure that it's as clean as possible. But I found that for me, that the Brillo pad, that the sponge is like quicker or something. It takes less time. And usually when I'm doing this, I'm like, okay, let's do this quickly. because I'm bad at soldering. I'm way better than I used to be, but I haven't been really spending any time on any of my hobbies, but I did order some custom. Oh, that is way too long. Damn it. That's way too long. Okay, we're going to cut this. I'm going to cut this one. I hate doing that because it makes a mess, but we're going to cut it. In fact, I'm going to cut it over a piece of tape or something. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to try to put a piece of tape down like that. Twist before you solder. I agree. I did twist these. I did. I swear. No, I didn't. Maybe I didn't. I twisted this side. You can see it. But maybe I didn't twist the short sides. I agree. I should always twist before you solder. I agree. 100% like that. So much better. Twist before you cut too, actually. Let's cut it though. We're cutting it like that. Over this tape. Look at all those fine thread wires. There we go. Oh, was that all off camera? No, I did it on. Oh, don't spill it all. It's all stuck to the tape now. I don't know about you, but if you ever get those in your foot, it sucks. So we're going right to the trash with that. Fold it over. Okay, twist. Yes. Should always twist. Should always twist. Do I always remember to twist? Of course not. Okay, and I'm also not covering up this board with tape, which I need to do. So we're going to do that now too. I always do that, or I try to remember to always do that. So we're going to at least cover up as much of it as possible. And I don't care, just as long as it's mostly covered up. That just protects it from flying pieces of rosin coated solder coated rosin. Okay. All right, we're going to do this. I didn't cover up the FPV combat board either, darn it. This stuff flies all over the place sometimes, especially when you have your soldering iron too hot like I do. Now, the other thing in the Joshua Bardwell School, or any school, is not to have your blue blob floating around, but to solder. The wire melts the solder. Like that. There we go. That's good. Okay. All right, let's do the, we're going to have to turn this whole thing around because of my weird way of having to do it a certain way because of my lefty-righty situation. Okay, let's get this out of the way. And let's get this turned as much as possible like this. And let's see, this is the negative. Oh, we're going to do the bullets first, I think. Boy, does it take me a long time to do this, huh? Okay, we're going to cut this one off a little bit too, even though I've already tinned it. Cut it off right there. Okay. Now we're going to test it out. That's better. Okay, so. Oh, I have this little thing here. Here we go. Let's use this. Let's use that to make the bullet connectors, huh? So we're gonna, I'm acting like I've never done this before. It's so hilarious. Tin this up first. Get some solder on here. You guys are probably giving me advice in the chat, but I can't see it right now. And I'm going to try to get some heat transferred and have this hot thing melt the solder like so. And then grab the wire, stick it in there. There we go. That should be good. So we got that correctly done. Let's do this one. Don't really need to hold it with the pliers here, do I? So we'll heat it up. Let's get this ready to go. Come on, heat up. There we go. Fill it up with some solder. A little bit more. Keep it going. And then do this. Okay, that should be good. It's still bubbling, but we got a good connection. Much easier to do the bullet side first before you get this connected to the flight controller. I'm amazed that my little brain remembered to do it in the right order, even though I kept almost trying to do it in the wrong order, didn't I? Tomato, tomato. Use a lighter with bullets. A lighter? Wow. Like a regular lighter? Like a Bic lighter? Does that work? I'm using a 400 degrees Celsius. Yeah, okay, that's a lot different. Maybe I'll try it sometime. Okay, let's do the negative side first since it's right here. So that's what we're going to be doing. So I think I'm just going to do it like that. I'm going to try to hold it closer and just have some solder. Have like a pre-tinned soldering iron here. Oh, is this totally off camera? It is. Let's try that. Sorry, this camera does not zoom. It's a webcam. It's just a shitty webcam. Okay, soldering iron. Its tip is cleaned. So we're going to just get it filled up with some solder there, and then we're just going to blast it down. Like so. There we go. That should be good. I don't know how clear that's coming through. It's going to hold it for a second longer. Okay. Then there's plenty of bend still in it, which is good because we're going to need that. Like a dream, huh? It works like a dream. Okay. Well, one of these days I might just try that. I'll remember that, especially like if I'm out in the field. What if I'm out in the field and I need to do a bullet connector? I don't have a field soldering iron. My friends do. What if I'm out in the field by myself? Which I am a lot. Okay, so now the plus is going to go here. And we got to go at that angle so we don't interfere with the standoff. So we are going to do the same exact thing. And then we get to do my favorite thing, the S1 pin. Oh, how I love the way the Maytech did the S1 pin. So fine and thoughtful of them. There we go. A nice shiny bubble globe of solder. That is what you want to see. Very shiny and not, has the perfect amount of, didn't run out of rosin or whatever that's called. Rosin. It's called rosin. That's what you want to see right there. Okay, now bullet connector heat shrink. I guess I need to put heat shrink on these, don't I? Yes, I do. Then we'll do the S1 pin. Okay, so heat shrink. We'll get some heat shrink. Say hi to everybody out there from face on camera. What size of heat shrink should we use? Should we use this size? No, that size doesn't quite fit, so I have to go up to this size. Yep. So we need it to be just like that long. That long. Oh, it's almost right in half. Perfect. Not quite perfect, but close enough for government work. There we go. There's our two pieces of heat shrink. And we'll stick them on here. Do the straight edges this way. Like that. Oh, we're on the wrong. Oh, we're on the right camera. I don't even know. Are we? Oh, we're on the correct camera, yes. Okay, we'll do that. Put this away. Heat gun. Probably use a lighter for this too, I bet you. I don't have a lighter sitting out here right now. So we'll just do this. Hopefully get it underneath. Oh, that one went a little too long. Okay. It went a little too far that way, but that's okay. Okay, there is our connection. Now we only have to do the S1. And now let's see our ESC. Let's bring that back. Because what I might do, I guess for the ESC, I have to do the same thing. I have to make a connector. Because look, what's coming off the ESC? That. So we're going to make a connector with two little wires, and we'll go just the same length. I don't even know if that showed up. I should look and see where the camera is. Okay. So we're going to have to solder two little wires onto our, so we'll use 28 gauge. And we'll use a yellow 28 gauge. We're using this stuff here. Amazon special. We'll do that. How much do we need? We need, let's look at our stuff here. We need S1. This is going to go to S1, my favorite pin of all time. And we'll go about that long. And we'll get a 28 gauge black wire. I have to go to my new pack. That's the pack that we ran out of everything but yellow. Guess I used the least yellow, the least. Okay, we'll do this the same length. Cut that right there. Put this away. This was one of my favorite purchases at Amazon. Hey, Sean. Hello. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Today we are still working on the same old thing, but what we're doing is finalizing the flight controller wiring. So we're back to soldering stuff. And what we have to do now is solder to this S1 pin and to this mess right here. And actually, we don't need the negative wire, but for completeness, we are going to do it because I like to make life difficult for myself. So we're going to first do the S1. Actually, yeah, we'll do the S1 first. We'll do the hardest one first. So we'll get a little strippage off of here. And we'll twist. And we'll tin. Oh, and I have to change tips again. Forgot. Let's turn the soldering iron off because we have the big tip. We don't want the big tip. We want a little tip for doing this. So, oh my gosh, that was, I hope you guys couldn't hear my stomach growling. Oh my god, this is too tight. Uh-oh. I have screwed myself somehow here, folks. Ouch. Ah, we got it. You have to take this off very carefully when it's 400 degrees Celsius. Very carefully indeed. Okay, we don't want to burn anything, especially the electronics or my hand. I'm going to put this cold tip back on. This is the, I guess that's a 3mm. That other one was probably like an 8mm. This is like a 3mm tip there. That's probably even a little too big for this job that we're doing. This is my all-purpose tip for the most part. This is a Hacko 888D. The hobbyist favorite soldering iron, right? Some local guy just paid me $10 to replace the connector on a Traxxas RC truck for him. Sweet, dude. People are so afraid of soldering, aren't they? So afraid of it. I mean, I guess I understand why a little bit, but just get into it. Break things. Because that's how you learn. I know I don't have to tell you that. You already know how to do it. All you guys out there know how to do this. Better than me too. 67 Canadian pay. Is it really only 67 to $1 right now? I can't understand why the dollar is that strong right now. Because it seems like our economy isn't that all that. But what do I know? Okay, we got that tinned. Whoa, we got it quite tinned. Look at that ball on there. That's probably what we want. A nice ball of solder. So now, I don't know if you can see. Did I tin it on camera? I hope I did. We're going to try to get it. Oh, I should really do the negative first. And I hope that didn't come through on camera. My stomach is not good. Okay. Let's try to get just this kind of tin tacked on top of this mess here. So we're going to strip this. Strip and tin. We're going to put the connectors on last. Although maybe I should put the connector on first, huh? No, because I want them to line up evenly. So we're going to put them on last. We're going to tin this part. I got to remember to cover the board with tape. See if I can get a big ball on that one. Nope, I can't. Cover the board with tape. I know, no need for the negative. I concur. I'm doing it more so. Here's why I'm doing it. Because the ESC has a 2 connector thing, and I think it'll be like better to hold the connector better, the DuPont connector. But if I have a hard time sticking it on, if it won't go on good. Actually, I want to turn this whole mess this way a little bit. Turn this way. If it doesn't go on well, if I can't just tack it on there real simply, then I'll say screw it. But I'm just going to try for... I don't need it. I know I don't need it. Just one of those. Maybe it's OCD. Who said that earlier? It's probably got something to do with it. OCD. Oh, did I not turn this back on? Oh, there we go. It's hot. Okay, we're just going to try this. Humor me for a minute. Oh, I made a good soldering joint look terrible. That's what I did by doing that. You know what? That's probably going to make it touch the top thing too. You know what? North 49, Chris, I'm going to take this back off. Come on. Come on off. There we go. Yeah, that was dumb. Now I ruined a perfectly good soldering joint. Solder joint. Perfectly good. By being anal. Okay, now where's my cutter? Right there. Let's just cut this little thing off there. Well, we all know it looked good at the beginning. Okay, we'll just do the yellow wire. And we'll just do the yellow wire connector. And we'll tape it together so it doesn't come apart. Okay, this is the one, my favorite pin on the Maytech flight controller, the S1 pin. You freaking bastards. Man, the people that did this, they do all such a good job with all their boards except for this one thing. And the WTE, the new one, is no different. No different. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this all kind of like that. And I'm going to just hold it like that and hope to get it on. So, in fact, I'm going to change my glasses. I hope I don't get my fat head in the way. I'm going to try not to, but I really got to see better than this. So I might have to get my fat head in the way. Here we go. I got it. That's all it needs is a dab. That's another good thing about a 400-degree iron. Look at that. That's beautiful. Okay. We're done with that. We're done with all the soldering. 100% complete. No more soldering on this plane. Unless we break something. I probably should have done it underneath there. I wonder if I still can. Let's try something. Oh dear. Yeah, we're going to do it like that. Do it like that, and then we're going to put the connector on. Right there. Twist it up a little. Get the connector. We need a pin connector. We need a pin. We need the crimper. We need a single. We got all these goodies in here. So we got the crimper. We got one of these guys. We got one of these guys. Everything handy. Okay. I'm not so unorganized. A little bit. A little dab will do ya. Hey, you know I like that. Don't talk much about that, but a little dab will do ya. That's right. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to squeeze this like so. And we're going to, I wonder if you can see what I'm doing. Oh my God, I'm going to change my glasses again and get right down in here. This is why I should have done, I wish I should have done this in the other order. Oh, don't screw this up, Selman. Got it. Okay. Let's test it out. Looks good. Looks real good. Now let's put our little singleton on here. Oh, wrong way. That way. Oh, we're going to have to push it in with our little tool. Where is that little tool? I just had it. We just had it. It's right here. Here we go. Push it in with that. Make sure it clicks. There we go. We are done with the wiring connections on this sucker. So now we can start to reassemble it. I watch them. Focus. Was it out of focus? Oh no. This camera's so bad. And it's not in the cards for me to get a new camera this year. Well, this year's almost over. It's like not in the cards for me to get a new camera ever the way I'm going. Okay, so now we have to put this back together. So these are going to come out that way. And we're going to carefully put this guy on top of this guy. And I hope it's in focus a little bit. So it's got to go this way. We're going to carefully make sure that all that stuff is over that way. Carefully squeeze it back together. And let's look at this business over here. It all looks good underneath there. Nothing is touching. So now this guy goes on top of here like that. And are we going to have to cut that part? Is that doing? Yeah, we're going to have to cut this a little bit. This part of my design was stupid. We're just going to cut this off here. Unnecessary. Let's cut that there too. There we go. I'll have to edit that design at some point. Okay, so now we're going to screw this back on. And then we'll use we'll use 4 screws instead of just 2, but we'll start off with the 2 that we had, which I hope was this one. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't have to cut that off. I have these things. Silly. You guys are probably screaming at me in the thing. Yeah, this is the old F411. F411 WSE. Because I have like 3 more of these. Isn't that crazy? But just think about this, you guys. All these boards only cost me between $30 and $40 each. Because I bought them they were almost all of them are pre-pandemic purchases. So pre-massive inflation, price gouging, and all that other stuff that's going on in the world. So instead of $60 to $70 per flight controller, I still can build some flight controller or some airplanes. Oh, I'm having a hard time threading this one in. With $35 flight controllers. So that's not so bad. And as far as I know, this will be supported for some time. I'm hoping. Now I'll have a nightmare tonight about Paweł Spakowski doing a video saying, we are canceling iNav support for all F4 processors. Boy, wouldn't that suck. I would just use older versions of iNav, of course. I mean, look, my best flying plane that I've ever built and still ever have, my 2 best flying planes are old versions of iNav. Okay, now we'll screw it to the bottom. The old versions of iNav aren't necessarily bad. I mean, they're missing features that I wish I had. But my FT Arrow, the one I fly, the plane that has had the most flights, even though I've replaced the wings and stuff. I mean, I've crashed it the most too. Most flights, most crashes, is the FT Arrow iNav, and it's running iNav 2.1. 2.2.1. 2.2.1. I think that's the version. Okay, so now what I'm looking for is I have this box of camera goodies from all my old cameras, and that's where I'm going to get some of these little screws from. I think these were maybe this one. I'm going to use some of these screws. Excuse me, I had to get a drink. Okay. I think that's what I used for these other 2. Was these little guys. Not that one. This size right there. That one. And that one. There we go. I think maybe I'll have to get longer ones. We'll see. 2.2, yeah. Can you believe it? And it's not even been tuned. And it flies. I mean, it flies better than my Flurkin, which is the latest iNav. Well, not the latest anymore, but almost the latest, 5.1. I have to tune that plane. That is something. Okay, so now we have our whole flight controller kind of assembly situation done here. Let's take a look at it. Let's see if I can remember. Okay, so the trigger was going to be this one. But I have to go look up I forgot to look up which is the ground. Let's use our multimeter to find the ground, since I don't want to look up I don't want to look up the images. That means I have to open up a computer, go to the computer. The computer's been turned off, so I probably don't have, I mean, it's on, of course, now because I'm streaming, but okay, to find the ground, we're going to use a known ground, like this one. This corner's ground. And there we go. Ground is there, and ground is there. So, this one is the trigger. So it goes over to this one. And this one is the servo in out, or servo in. So we'll plug one of the wing servos into the FPV combat board. This goes this way, like that. Okay, and then the servo, the actual servo will plug into here, the out. Now, what else do we have to plug in? I think before we plug anything else in, we should get this contraption into the actual airframe. So now let's do some, we're going to have to do a little bit of cleaning up. I'm sorry, I know it's close to time to stop, but it's a little bit of a mess in here, which always happens, and I'm, like I said, OCD. Somebody said that in the chat today, OCD, and they're right. That's me. Okay, we're going to put this back in our little handy dandy tester. Okay, let's get all this out of the way and put this stuff away. Here, we'll go to this camera. Sick of that view. Oh my God, have I had the wrong view on the whole time? I sure hope not. No, it looks like I had the right view on. Had the close-up view. It's just the lag. There we go. There's like 10 seconds of lag. That's probably good. I could close it out and run and hide with my tail between my legs if I did something absolutely stupid and not have to see it. Or maybe have enough time to stop the stream. Okay, I'm joking, of course. All right, now we're going to see how this all fits together. So we'll switch back to here. We'll go back to here. And we'll see how it all fits together. Okay, this receiver we're not going to use anymore. This is our test receiver. Oh, I bet you I am going to have to get the drawing out anyway. Okay, so now this part, there's no screws to screw this down. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to glue it. It's going to get glued down like that. And I think I'm just going to glue it right now. Why should I not glue it? There's no reason, right? Get it glued in. So then I can put the wings on and everything, and I won't have to mess with it. I want to get as much done in this part. So we need to get, do we need to set in the, all this stuff? We'll do the flight controller first. And then we'll glue in the VTX over here. The VTX has like a little holder bracket for me to kind of glue against. So maybe we'll get that in first. Okay, so let's take this out. Let's get our glue gun. And what do we got going on in the chat? Swordfish, is that the new plane? Is that the new plane that I've been missing out on because I haven't been watching my RC channel stuff? What's the Arrow running on for motor and battery? Okay, so for motor, we have the Sunny Sky X2216. It's a beast. 2216 2400 kV. And we're probably going to run, I meant to look up the specs for the prop, but we're going to run whatever I think prop is the most efficient. I think it's going to be a 5-inch prop or 6-inch prop, something like that. I don't know. This thing is a beast. 2216 2400 kV. That's what we're running. We got this crappy 38 amp ESC. What was the other question? Battery is going to be 3S or 4S. This thing is going to, well, I don't know whether we're going to do 3S or 4S, to be honest. It's the front cavity up here is sized so that we can put a 4S battery in. My other FT Arrows are 3S. And they run a 7x4 prop with a fake Sunny Sky. I don't think the motors I have on my other two Arrows are real Sunny Sky motors. I think they're counterfeit because they're 2208 2000 kV or something crazy like that. And I've never seen a Sunny Sky spec page for that particular thing. Okay, so now what we're going to do is glue this. And look at that. It's a perfectly smooth bottom there. So we're going to just kind of scar it up a little bit here. Then we're going to just smear a little hot glue on there. Not so much, but just a little bit. And then we're going to stick it in here. Like so. There we go. So it's almost like it was printed in there. That's all we need. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing with this mess. Is we're going to put some hot glue on there. Let's make sure we've got all of our screws tightened. Let's check these out. These screws are tightened. And we're going into plastic, so I can't go crazy, you know. But okay, and then I need a little Phillips head for this. Oh, this Phillips head. Oh, that's too big probably, but oh, that actually fits. Okay. And tighten just a little bit. We're still going into plastic, I think. That one was way loose. There we go. Hopefully those won't come up. Okay, so now we're going to take this blob here and we're going to put some glue on the bottom. Like that. And we're going to stick it on. And we're just going to hold it flat down. Like so. This is just hot glue, so even if it doesn't, you know, if I have to take this off for some reason, if I've screwed up something and I forgot to do something, I can't imagine what it is I forgot to do at this point, but I can put some alcohol in there and get this out, which is better than like if I epoxied it or something or used CA glue. Okay, what's going on the chat? Run 8-inch on that. I was kind of thinking a bigger prop with such a big motor. And I kind of want to look at the, that would be awesome because that seems like I would have a lot of power, a lot of thrust if I was to have an 8-inch prop, like an 8x4. I have on my, a similar spec. No, those are only 1300 kV, and that's 4S. My Twin Explorer has, there, I think that's good. Folks, we actually made some progress this week. I didn't get to cutting the spars, which I thought I'd be doing, but okay, so let's see how all this fits together in here. This part, which is the power. I'm sorry, I should I might shorten these up too. Like I said, I might shorten all this stuff up if it turns out to be too big of a mess. Oh, the lights. Where are the lights? I said I had no more soldering to do. I was wrong. I think I have to solder the lights. Forgot about the lights. Okay, so this is going to go into here. I think what we should do is power this puppy up. So we're going to get the smoke stopper. This doesn't go to anything. That's 5 volts because this has a Beck. And then this is going to kind of, oh, what are we going to do here? Are we actually going to go like this? Or are we going to go like this? That's red. I think we're going to try to do that. Have as much of it back here as we can. Okay, we're going to put the black one, the negative, onto the negative. I'm going to kind of twist it around here a couple times or once. Okay, got those plugged together. See, I hate all this extra wire. That part I hate. Hate's probably too strong of a word, but that's how it's going to go in. Kind of like that. Let's see if we can jumble it all together. Yes. So we don't have to cut any wires. In fact, we can almost... No, we have to wait to do that. But this part is going to get screwed on the top cover here. Okay, that part's on. The VTX. Where did this go? This was the channel changer. That's the ST1 pin. Hold on, I gotta find that. That is this pin right here. This pin right here is the ST1 pin. Yeah. So that's the soft serial. Okay. There's the laser gun. This is going to go like... Oh, I can see what a mistake I might have made. Well, this is going to go maybe across here. Where did I... It comes into there. It goes in right there. So there's plenty of slack for it to move around as long as I can keep it out of the way of the battery. Let's hope I can. But see, that's where it goes, right through there, into there. We should probably glue that in too. What do you think? Glue as much of this in before I get the wings on, right? Because it'll be easier. What time is it? We got 5 whole minutes. I think I'm going to try to glue that in. And I want the light bulb setting out. So what I want to do is just have it sitting in there. I don't know what I'm doing, folks. I think what I want to do is put a glob of glue on the side. I really got to get some light in there to see. There, I can see at this angle. I know you guys can't. I'm going to put a glob of glue right there. And then hope I can scoop some of this up into, yeah. There. It's barely touching it, but it's touching it enough. So there. That's our glue to hold the trigger on. I mean the gun. This is going to be crazy. It probably won't even all work. Like when you're flying, and I don't know. I hope it does. For the FPV Combat guys, I'm sure they worked hard on this project. I hope it works. But I have no idea. I haven't really seen any actual people on the internets making it work. I've seen their own videos, but that's it. Okay. How are we doing? We have the laser, the IR gun. It's not a laser, it's an IR gun. I can always unplug the other end if I want to reroute this through here, which I might want to do. But I might want to just have it go this way. Who knows? We've got the VTX. Let's get this in here. So the VTX is going to go like this. I want to get this thing that way. And we're just going to, also, I'm just going to plop some, right on the heat sink. That's brilliant. Now let's put it down at the bottom. Just some glue down there, like that. And then we're just going to stick this down on top of it, like so. And then I'll put some glue along the side here. That's what we're doing. Oops, we were off camera again. VTX goes like that. And technically, I can still get at the button and everything if I had to. I do have a capacitor right there. Right there. It's 1,000 microfarad, low ESR, high quality. It's a Panasonic low ESR. I'll show you exactly what it is. I have two sizes that I use for ESCs, and I actually sometimes remember to put them on. These are the from Mauser. These are real. These are the real deal. Panasonic low ESR, 1,000 microfarad. That's what we're using on this. These are the real deal, not some crappy ones from Banggood or AliExpress. And then for smaller builds, I have the 330 microfarad. These are still 35 volts, so this is what I'd recommend. You get the 35 volt minimum. The 50 volt ones are gigantic, so I wouldn't recommend you get the 50 volt ones. I'm the king of fairy wings. You should, yes, my Tyrannus. And I have a bunch of, I have a drawer full of them. Of course, at my fingertips. This is just one sample of the many sizes I have. So if I ever need to put some around wires, plus I take apart all the electronics that we have to dispose of at work, and I take out all the little giblets that I want. Like I take out ferrite rings, I take out little connectors if I can get at them. If I have to dispose of something, man, I take that sucker apart and just dispose of. I take all the little niblets that aren't considered property. Okay, well, do you have a watt and a watt meter? Yes, I do. So, and I could hook it up in here or here. Where is my watt meter? I'll show you what I have. I have this guy here. So we could hook this up. I'd have to put a prop on. So I think we'll be doing that next week because it's late and I'm starving to death. But we'll check out, we can use the watt meter, and I'll help, you guys can look at the screen because I probably won't be able to see it while I'm doing stuff. So what I'll try to do for next week is make sure I have the wiring diagram so I've got everything wired properly. And we're going to put the wings on because that's basically the next step. The next step is to power it up, right? Power it up, maybe do a thrust test with, or at least a watt test, and make sure I don't get too far past, too close to 30 watts, 30 amps, I mean. I'll need to decide on the prop before next week. So I will get the prop spec figured out, get the watt meter set up. We can do all this. Let's have some fun, hopefully. Some nerdy fun. I'm also can't breathe right now again. Sorry about that. So, I just want, you guys are all still here maybe? Sean, Robert, Chris, Bugs, everybody who's been here. Awesome. Thank you. I'm glad somebody joined me. Makes me feel like I'm not talking to the thin air. You guys are always here to make it more fun, and I appreciate that. So we'll see you next week. Next week will be almost Christmas, and it'll be almost my week off. The university gave us usually what we have to do between Christmas and New Year's. The university's closed down, so I have to take vacation time between that time, like mandatory 5 days of vacation, usually 4 or 5 days, and I don't have to do it. We're getting those days paid this year. It's a little give us something because we're so screwed by inflation, I guess, or something. I don't know, because our salaries aren't keeping up with inflation, that's for sure. Anyway, so they gave us, I think it turns out to be 4 days off. So 4 paid days, and you don't have to take vacation. Anyway, that's kind of exciting. So I'm looking forward to that, but that won't be next week. That'll be the week after. And so hopefully we'll have no excuses not to do any live streams. We'll get this finished up, and maybe no, I can't see me finishing the entire plane in one more stream because I'm so bad. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. We're going to get things wrapped up or cleaned up, but you guys don't have to watch that part. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Get a whiteboard and put a list on it. I'll do it, Sean. I'll do it. Thanks, you guys.